Hello. Happy Tuesday, Pink Ladies. I ended up with an extra day off, so my client had an unexpected doctor's appointment with the VA, so I'm home again today. so, um, yesterday I just didn't really feel like getting on here talking or anything. It was kind of a painful day for me. I did get some things done, but my back was hurting, my feet were hurting, and it just was one of those not so good days. But I'm feeling better today. I did take a meloxicam last night and got some good rest. Rubbed some of my good pain cream on my feet. I don't know if y'all can see that there. That's what I get. Essential Cream Supreme. And I get that there's a vendor that has these up there at the Copper Penny in Greenbrier. That's the only place that I have found it so far, and it's in Greenbrier. So, but my husband and I are going to be going back Saturday to get more wood from a good friend of his that has a lot of firewood that we can have. So while we're there, of course, I've got to make my stop and get another jar because it works. But just thinking about a lot lately and just being tired. I think I have more I can say today, so I'm gonna start it off with Stevie Nicks, a song of hers that I really like, and it's called Doing the Best That I Can. And I know probably you can raise your hand how many of us women feel that way, sometimes even on a daily basis, that I'm just doing the best that I can. So I've just always really liked this song, so I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys this morning, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So let's see, let me get my remote. Alright, and I'm going to go over here for a little bit. my way back over there. I sit in our recliner over here. So let me make my way back over to you guys now. So found this really pretty scarf when we were at the flea market Saturday. So I thought it was kind of neat. I could channel my inner Stevie, but anyway. So, but we'll get started this morning, and like I said, we did a lot of running around Friday and Saturday. So Sunday and Monday yesterday, I was pretty wiped out, and I was hurting pretty good yesterday, but we did get some much needed rain and some cloudiness outside, and I think that might have played a part in some of that. But I did at one point try to rest on the couch for a little bit, and then I got up and got some more things done. But because I always feel so guilty if I feel like I'm not getting up and doing enough, I feel lazy and everything, and I know that that's not the case. I know it's because I hurt, and when you're hurting chronically and you're having a bad day, it makes you tired. And you really have to motivate yourself, because when you do get up, it hurts. When you do try to move around and do stuff, it hurts. So it's just, what do you do? And my feet, I've Googled stuff that I'm trying to do and trying to work on until I can see my foot doctor on December the 8th, because that's still a ways off. And when you hurt and it's a ways off, you just do the best that you can until you can get in there. So I'm just trying to hang in there and be a champ, y'all. Let's see, I did want to mention we're in October now, and the end of the month, which I've taken the last week in October completely off, like I wouldn't have my days in there, because my husband's on Joy's volunteer fire department, and they're having a trunk or treat again this year. It's going to be at Station 1 off of Highway 36. And they're going to have bounce houses for the kids, and they'll be able to see the fire trucks and stuff like that. There'll be candy and door prizes and all kinds of fun stuff. So y'all come out and see us. I plan to dress up, which I have a lot of stuff out of my own closet that I can dress and be a gypsy. I've been a elf gypsy at a Renaissance festival we went to, so I've got like some Renaissance pieces too that I have, just that I've collected for dressing up and doing stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited to dress up this year, and I guess I'm just gonna go as a gypsy. It's already kind of in me anyway. I kind of have that, I've said it before, a kind of hippie gypsy soul. So, and I love Stevie Nicks. I love her songs. I can just listen to them, and I have a playlist. I actually listen to her a lot when I'm back in my jewelry room and making jewelry. It's just, her words are so beautiful, and they touch your soul with the things that she's singing about. So, and if I've never shown y'all before, this is one of my favorite tattoos, and that's on my arm. I don't even know if I can pull it around where y'all could really see it good. But it's Stevie Nicks' tambourine with the ribbons and all. And it says Gypsy Soul. So it's a beautiful tattoo. It was done by Reagan at Analog Tattoo and BB. So y'all should go see them, as well as Jerem Harvey. He did the really big one on my back, on my shoulders. But they're amazing artists and a really good group of people at that shop. So I always recommend people go to Analog and BB. So, but anyway, actually, I need to go do something really quick. So I'm going to pause this for just a minute, or stop it, and I'll be right back, y'all. Alright guys, I'm back. So sorry about that. But anyway, like I was saying, they are doing that. It's going to be Thursday, October the 30th, so the day before Halloween. The chief there felt like it'd be a lot going on Friday, which is actually Halloween on the 31st this year. So they're doing it Thursday the 30th. So, but I've been kind of sharing that on Facebook too, so it should pop up here and there. But so, and like I said, I think I'm gonna go as a gypsy. I think I've been trying to talk Sean into being a pirate. So, and he's got a few little Renaissance pieces or things that we can do. Maybe I can find him a little pirate eye patch or something. But but anyway, since this is October and it won't be long before Halloween will be here, I thought I would throw that out there. So, but anyway, like I said, yesterday was kind of rough. I was hurting pretty good and just not feeling the best, just feeling real tired, wiped out, drained. It happens. I have good days and bad days. So, and yesterday was a pretty, I'd say it was kind of a bad day as far as that, but I did get some things done, and I made something kind of simple. I just cooked, I made spaghetti last night and kind of did like my meat and my, did my sauce and stuff and let it simmer for a little while, and then all I had to do was make my spaghetti noodles later and the garlic bread stuff to go with it, so that wasn't too bad. So and like I said, I did try to get a little rest yesterday, but I have to remember, and that's why I love that song so much, and I just always try to remember that yeah, there's gonna be days I'm just like, just trying to get by, but I'm doing the best that I can. And I think we all have our days like that where we're doing the best we can with what we can do, and just try to be strong, channel our inner Stevie, because she always seems to be such a strong feminine presence that we can aspire to be kind of like. So I always like to say I kind of look up to her. So hope that I'm that cool when I'm as old as she is. So but anyway, let's see. Yesterday, like I said, we got some rain, and it was kind of cloudy, which it probably contributed some to the aches and the pains yesterday, but we needed the rain, and we need the cooler air coming down. So, and I think we're getting that this week from what I can see, that like cooler air actually comes in tonight, I believe, and it's showing really good weather Wednesday through Friday anyway, with much cooler, drier, fall-like air coming in. So I'm happy about that. I'll give the double thumbs up on that, because I love fall. Not really that crazy about winter, but it kind of drags on for a long time. It seems like it's kind of like summer. It hangs around too long, and when it gets too cold in the winter, I hurt. And so people that are such summer people need to understand that there are people out like me out there that when it gets too cold and keeps dragging on, and it's just too cloudy and not enough sun, it affects somebody like me, because I hurt, I get in more pain. I get seasonal depression when it goes on for too long. Just not able to get outside as much and enjoy that. And I don't like being really, really cold. Yeah, you can bundle up, but it's still cold. We've got an older house too, so it's just our fireplace in the living room and our electric heaters that we have in different rooms. Like the one in our bedroom, it's one of those electric heaters, and it does keep it nice, but I keep the door closed, just like I do for our air conditioner. I keep our bedroom door closed, so it stays pretty nice. And it's kind of one of those heaters that looks like a fireplace, kind of. It's, has the little fake flames if you want them in that. and Gabe's got kind of a similar heater in his room. So we've got a lot of those around, but when it gets, there's normal winter and there's abnormal winter. And when I say abnormal, I mean what they get up in like Minnesota, Canada, all them northern states up there that get all the snow and the ice and the very, very cold below zero temperatures. That's them. Their houses are equipped for that up there. In Arkansas, our homes are not equipped for that. And I don't care if you've got central heat and air, if you're lucky to have that. Fine and good, but it's still going to be colder than what you're used to. Just saying. Yeah, you can bundle up, but when you get up, it's going to be cold. And I'm one of these, I don't want to sit around all day, even when I'm hurting, because then I feel bad, like I'm not getting enough accomplished, or I feel lazy. And I don't want to do that. I want to at least get some stuff done here and there. I may have to sit down and take some breaks and rest my back or rest my feet and put my feet up. But then I'm going to get up after a while and I'm going to try to get stuff done again. And it's a lot easier to get up and get stuff done when you're warm enough, when you're comfortable enough. And that's where I draw the line. If I'm feeling uncomfortable in my own home, then it's too cold. You know, so sorry to all you summer people, but that's just my truth. May not be your truth, but it's my truth. So so I thought I'd bring that up. But I'm trying to think. We were watching on Netflix, and I didn't know there was one after the Dahmer one on Netflix. We watched that one, and the guy that played him did a really good job. But I guess we didn't know about, there was apparently a season 2 about the Menendez brothers. I haven't even seen that one yet, but I happened to be scrolling Facebook and I saw that they were doing Monster, the Ed Gein story, and the guy that's playing him, oh my word, he's doing an amazing job. That guy needs to win an Emmy for that, because he's got it spot on. Like, he did a lot of research on this guy and even isolated himself to study that character role. So we've only watched, I think this is like the 3rd episode that we just watched. So we just started the series, so we can't watch it every night. It kind of gets to my husband, because the guy was just, he did some horrific things, some very strange, odd things. But it is a good series, and I do recommend it. And I think I saw something today when I was scrolling, and their next one's going to be over Lizzie Borden, so that should be pretty interesting. So it's kind of neat that they're doing this series on true crime and getting actors and stuff to play it. And they've done their research, because they're pretty spot on, like as far as the character and what's true and everything. They've definitely done their research on it. So it's a good show so far. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, we can't watch it every single night. It kind of gets to Sean a bit. Because this one, the guy is pretty crazy. But anyway, I do recommend that if you like true crime shows and things like that. And like I said, the actors they've got are doing an amazing job. And they pretty much got their facts spot on, as far as I can tell. Because I've seen documentaries about Ed Gein before, and I'm like, yeah. Like when he did this or that in the show, I'm like, yeah, I remember seeing that about him. So they've definitely done their research. So it's definitely a good series. So, and I got my animals keeping me company today, and they were all pretty happy yesterday, I think, and they got lots of turns and time outside and that, and it was just I just hurt a lot yesterday, and like I said, rested some. It gets you down sometimes. Like, I'll feel frustrated sometimes because I just feel like I can't do what I used to be able to do. Like, when it comes to cleaning and taking care of stuff around the house, because I have to stop and I have to sit down or I'll start hurting so bad. And I know Sean's told me before, he's like, you don't have to do all that today. You just rest. And I get it and I want to, but then I start feeling bad. So there you go. I have my physical chronic pains and stuff, but my mental stuff, my anxiety and my OCD keeps me going. So sometimes it's hard to rest because then your mind starts thinking about all the things you should be doing and could be doing. And so you've got your anxiety and OCD over here pulling and tugging on you, saying, no, you got to get up. But sometimes my body wins, and I just felt really tired after I made myself a little lunch yesterday, and I said, I'm going to lay down. I have to. And I took about an hour nap on the couch, got myself comfortable and relaxed. My dog Dealey curled up beside me, and boy, that sealed the deal right there. You got a nice, cute, fuzzy, warm chocolate lab laying next to you, and I was out like a light. So, but then when I got up, I was able to get some things done and move around some more. I took a Tylenol rapid release, and that helped with some of the pain issues I was having yesterday, and so I was able to get around and do some things. So it's just hard some days. I guess some of you women out there can relate, or that are going through things. It's not always easy. Some days aren't all, like I'd say, not all days are sunshine and roses, but that's fine. You just have to roll with it. Take the good with the bad and the bad with the good, and just keep going is basically, I guess, all you can really do. And the end of last week was stressful because I only work 10 hours a week now. That's basically what I do. And I go over to, I have one little VA client. And of course, he's encouraged me because he's seen me on bad days with my back and that. And I don't have to overdo over there. I do sit and visit with him quite a bit and do some light things for them, some dishes and things like that, and a little light cleaning, things like that. But I go over there 3 days a week. Well, I put in my time off because Social Security Disability Office or whatever, and the law office, whatever, they decided on the date. I have nothing to do when the hearing's going to be. And they had chose Tuesday, October the 14th, and it's a phone hearing. I've never done anything like this, so y'all be praying for me, and I'm praying that we win this. So anyway, Home Instead got the day wrong. I don't know how, because I know I was looking at the calendar and I put in the right day. But they didn't have it right. So I had to call them, and I finally got it all straightened out, and they've got me off for Tuesday the 14th now. So, and then that week, which is next week, oh gosh, I mean, it's coming up fast. It's next week, y'all. Be praying for me. But I'll be off on my normal Monday, then I'll be off on that Tuesday for my hearing, and then they have me working 3 in a row, so it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get my 10 hours in next week. But you would think it'd be easy because, I mean, I only work the 3 days a week, the 10 hours a week, but you still have to finagle sometimes, or they might mess up. They're human too. So I had to call them and get it all situated. But definitely prayers for Tuesday, October the 14th. I get the phone call at 12:15. So I told Sean I'm going to make sure I potty all the dogs, have them all ready and where they need to be, and I'm going to be up here where it's quiet. And I've also got to talk to my stepson Gabe, because he usually comes over Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I don't want the dogs to start barking when he gets here, so I'm not sure how we're going to work it out, or if he might need to just come a little bit later and give me some time. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I know it's a phone hearing. And like I said, I'm going to be up here. I'll probably have Bella and Elsa up here with me, and they're usually pretty quiet. Bella just looked at me when I said her name. Hey, baby girl. But I'm hoping and praying it all goes well. The main lawyer over the law firm, he is calling me Friday afternoon. I've yet to talk to him. I've mostly been in contact with my paralegal, Michelle, and she's handled everything. So, but I talked to her too the other day and got all that straightened out, as well as to what I need to be doing. And she said, well, he's going to call you Friday afternoon, because then my hearing will be Tuesday. And he's going to go over everything with me. I guess I'm basically going to get the rundown on everything, so that's going to be a good thing. You know, whoop, I had a box pop up on my tablet. There we go. So he'll be going over everything with me, and then she said that she's got everything she needs finally. She was having a time getting everything from my doctor, because that MRI is very, very important, because it shows the lumbago. It shows the sciatica issues on the right side of my body. That MRI is the best thing I could have done, because it shows what's going on back there and why I'm in pain, why it hurts, why I'm in chronic pain, why I'm dealing with this. So they finally got the results of everything in a report. So she's got it all together with everything else. Plus, my doctor's filled out 2 big forms twice now. They said they had to have an updated one, because when it got appealed, we had to get a new one. So he got that filled out, and she's got all of that with all my paperwork from the very beginning. So they have my big old file, and then she's going to be doing what's called a briefing. And when she gets that briefing done, she's going to email me a copy to look at, so I'll know what she's going to be talking about and discussing before the judge and all that. So, prayers, y'all. I put this in not this June, but the previous June. So by the time I have my hearing Tuesday, it's going to be almost getting close to a year and a half. Close to. So, I just hope we win this thing. January, let's see, I guess that was anyway, I'm trying to think about the date, but I've had my lawyer for a while, so I got them, and they're supposedly one of the best law offices in Conway that handle disability claims. So they're very good, and they really try and help people that need to get that. So I'm praying that, and I have my faith and my trust in God, being a Christian woman, and I've prayed and talked to God about it every day. He's probably tired of hearing about it. But I think, the Lord knows my pain. He knows what I'm going through every day. He knows me. And I think we are eventually going to win it. At some point, it is going to get won. I just have to be patient. And my prayers is that it's going to be this time. I hope and I pray. If not, like I said before, I'm still in the fight, and so is my law team. So we're just going to keep going if we don't get it. That's all you can do, is just keep going until you do get it. So, well, with that being said, I'm trying to think what else I wanted to talk about today. I might have just covered everything. Yesterday, like I said, I usually do it Mondays, but I just didn't feel good. And then I got a phone call late afternoon from Mr. Hoss's wife that he has another appointment and he's got to go to it. So, and prayers for him, for their family, because he had cancer and it was stage 4, but they got rid of it. He's been in remission for a long time, but now he's feeling a bump, a ridge on his other side where his other ribs and lungs would be, and he's worried that he's got cancer there now. So I think that's a lot of what this appointment was. They're going to run some tests and see what's going on. So I've been praying for him too, and I hope and pray that it has not come back. So y'all just be thinking about them too. Just pray for the Hosses and that his cancer does not come back. So but she called, and I thought, well, I've got another day off. I've got today off too, so I thought I'd go ahead and do the episode and talk to y'all today. So I really enjoy our weekly talks, just being able to get things off my chest, off my mind. Hopefully it's helping you women out there that y'all are going through similar issues or different things, and hopefully as women in a sisterhood we can pray for each other. Like I said, please pray for me for this hearing. Please pray for my client that he doesn't have cancer coming back. I just, like I said, I enjoy doing this and just getting things off my mind and off my chest, and just being able to talk to you ladies out there about what I'm going through, and knowing that a lot of you out there are going through things in your life too, or you're going through health issues, or you're going through mental health issues, or maybe some days you're feeling the same thing, like the Stevie Nicks song, I'm doing it the best that I can. We all do. You just, somehow we keep going. And I've said it before, we're such fragile, emotional creatures, but we're strong, beautiful women too, inside and out. And we can get through our days. We're tougher than even men think we are. You know, we can be as tough as we need to be, and even when you're thrown to the ground, you can rise up and put yourself back together. It's not easy, and it may be a piece at a time, but you can. I've been there through a lot of things in my life too, so if I can do it, y'all can do it. And well, I'm just trying to think. I like to bring y'all several things. Let me go ahead and pull up our page. I know I didn't get to do it. I think I did this last time, but the one before I wasn't able to because I had issues with recording. But all of that's good now. So I'm going to pull up our Pink Ladies Club real quick, and I'll end it with reading y'all some of that. Oh yeah, I liked this one because even though I'm kind of a hippie gypsy soul, I'm also kind of a traditional woman, a little bit like the old school, kind of like how Lucille Ball was, you know, and Ricky would come home, Lucy, I'm home, and she'd be cooking or doing whatever. I'm kind of traditional too in a lot of ways. I don't consider myself too modern. But it says, don't be afraid to be a traditional girl in this modern world. And it shows like a really pretty kitchen with flowers and stuff. That's my kind of kitchen right there. That's so pretty. But so I'm kind of traditional in a lot of ways too, and I don't mind that, honestly. It says, This one's common anxiety triggers. I may have read this before. I can't remember if I've posted it more than once, but common anxiety triggers: certain medicines and over-the-counter medications, worries about saving money or having debt, skipping meals, caffeine, negative self-talk, not getting enough sleep, parties or social events. So all of those can actually trigger anxiety. Let's see. Oh, I messed up the other day. I had made a new pair of earrings, and I've got another page called the Gypsy Wagon, and it's for a lot of my jewelry that I make to sell. So I accidentally put them on our Pink Ladies page, but hey, y'all can see them. Maybe you'll like them, or if anybody sees any of my jewelry out there, just message me. I can either meet up with you if you're local, or I can work something out to mail it to you if you're not local. I love making jewelry. I made this piece. It's actually one in my Stevie Nicks collection, and I didn't sell it at the last Daisy Days we went to, and I just decided to go ahead and keep this one because I'm always making stuff, and I've got plenty of inventory still to sell. So I just got out of our page. Okay, it says, not every woman who takes care of her appearance is seeking attention. Most women simply enjoy looking their best for themselves, because confidence isn't about who notices, it's about how they feel when they look in the mirror. Taking care of yourself is self-respect, not a cry for approval. I want to read that last thing to y'all again. Take it to heart. Taking care of yourself is self-respect, not a cry for approval. So, but I guess I'm going to end on that note for right now. So, trying to think of anything else that I had seen or heard about, but I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you all have a good rest of your week, and like I said, please say prayers for me as I head towards next Tuesday and my hearing. I'm praying really hard myself, but I love you guys, and like I said, I love doing this, and I plan on doing this, bringing y'all an episode every week, even if it's another day. If I'm not feeling particularly well the day that I usually do the recording, then I will do it another day, but I will try to bring y'all something every week. I think there's been a time or two they've been kind of close together because I had some actual good days and I had the time to do it. So, but I enjoy talking to y'all, and like I said, it helps me a lot, and I hope it helps y'all, and I hope you can like identify with the things that I'm saying, and even identifying with the music that I try to play, that is usually something that makes you think or makes you feel good, or just, you know, it's inspirational, or you can take it to heart. So, but anyway, with that being said, I better get off of here. I do need to head up to Heber today to Walmart and pick up my meds. Gotta have the Jardians, that's for my diabetes, so I need to get that picked up today, pronto. So, but I love each and every one of you guys, and I love talking to y'all, speaking my mind to y'all, and just, like I said, I hope it helps you as much as it helps me, and I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.